G'day. I'm going to build this simple little side table with trapezoidal legs. I'm simply going to draw out the dimensions of the side table on this bit of old board so I can then lay the timber down and get the angles that I'd like. I'm not going to do any fancy maths, just what looks good. Grab the bevel, take that bevel over to the miter saw and set the miter saw up and do all those bevel cuts in one hit. I've set up my stop block so I can cut all 4 vertical posts at the same time. I'll then take them back over to the bench. I'll line up the top and bottom pieces and then back on the miter saw to get those pieces cut again with the same miter. I'm going to do half lap joinery on all the corners. So again, I'm using that same bevel and I've just screwed in this little bit of timber as my angle, and that's going to stay there until I've done all those pieces. So I actually found it hard to hang onto this timber, so I'm putting a second piece of timber, again on the same angle, so then that timber won't move as I slide it back and forth through the table saw. I really do like this method for cutting out any joinery. It's really just a quick clean up with the chisel and you end up with a pretty neat and smooth joint. I then reset up the table saw sled on the opposite side so I can cut all those opposing angles. I've got all my corners cut now, so my 2 trapezoids are done. Not all these joints are perfect because some of the timber is twisted and bowed. I've also marked out the 2 checkouts or the half laps where these 2 trapezoids are going to cross over in the middle at the base of the frame. The bottom cross pieces both fit together nicely, but up the top what I'm going to do is a bit of fake joinery. I don't think it's necessary to go and do those half laps up top, as I'll show you shortly. I'm gluing together one trapezoid first, and then on the second trapezoid I'm going to leave the top piece off, so just the bottom and the 2 sides. I'm countersinking 2 holes on each corner and then going to screw those in. 2 screws is probably overkill, but the finished product is going to look quite raw, and this is more for a bit of a look or a bit of effect. So now grab your second trapezoid with the open top and slot that cross piece in. And now when you just take a look how I'm doing this fake joinery up top, I've just slotted these pieces in. The top circle is going to hold all this together. It's going to be super strong anyway. Now I simply glue it all together, countersink and screw the remaining joints, and this frame is all done. I'm now going to make my mini slab for the circle tabletop. I run all my pallet wood timber through the table saw to get a similar thickness. I don't do anything else to it, no planing, no sanding. I merely just glue and clamp all the slabs together. I like to take a mallet, tap down the slabs as best I can, so when it goes through the thicknesser, I don't have to run it through as many times to get my nice flat surface. Now this is probably one of the easiest jigs, and yet it's probably one of the most rewarding jigs. You get to cut a circle on a table saw. So it's purely a board with a strip of timber that runs through the gutter on the table saw. I've got a piece of dowel and I basically spin the slab around in circles until I form a circle. So hold on with 2 hands, keeping them well clear of the blade, as you're going to reverse that slab back through the table saw blade each time, and you don't want any twist on that slab. In real time, using the table saw to cut this circle, it only takes less than a couple of minutes and you get a pretty clean result. Now I'm simply going to glue and screw my little trapezoid frame to my circle slab top. So just measure it out, make sure you got it in the center, apply some glue and screw it straight on. I'm now giving the outside edges a quick sand. I did all the inside edges when the frame was disassembled because I knew I wouldn't be able to get my little hand sander in that small space. So there you go, just a couple of coats of a water-based clear coat and my little trapezoid side table is all done and ready to go. Appreciate you watching along, thanks very much and we'll see you on the next one.